Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee are less than 24 hours away, which means this should be my last update on the Pokemon Let's Go Datamine, but it does have some of the coolest stuff, such as the Master Ball animation. Now, unfortunately to get this, a lot of hacking has been involved, but the Master Ball animation is pretty dope. If you don't want, like, this is something you might not even want to be spoiled about, but let's go and see how it goes. So, Matt. This guy, he's been doing all kinds of hacking, you know, maxed out Pokemon, just going through the game and experimenting, tinkering with things, and this is kind of what we have. So it's also under hashtag Let's Go Spoil, because he's also dropping a lot of spoilers like that. So there's our shiny, raw, straight up Mega Mewtwo X, and you can also see the hit points, 550s. So yeah, the awakened values are kind of crazy. Also, it's level 100 versus level 50, so this Psychic is going to wipe out the Zapdos. But if you notice at the beginning, it said Zapdos stats increase. Now, we're going to be seeing this with Moltres as well, and I want to talk about that in a bit. But, I mean, you defeat it, you go to the catching, and tried Ultra Balls, but couldn't get it past the Twitter video length cap. Now, check out the Ultra Ball, guys. First off, it turns green, because it's like a guaranteed capture. Then just... boom! Master Ball. That's how excited I am about this new Master Ball animation, guys. I'll weeb out that hard. Done. Like, how else are you going to describe it? So that's something, and then it's like, yep, that's the Zapdos encounter, which, amazing. Let's Go is amazing, guys. There's so much detail and so much cool stuff put into it. Let's Go is amazing. Oh yeah, and something else to talk about when you catch, like, legendary Pokemon or big Pokemon. This is what I was really interested in. I'm like, how do you get species candy, and how do you get large candy and extra large candy? If extra large candy exists, then why are you only getting, like, a smart candy large? You get 2 of them for defeating Zapdos, but I mean, the candies are going to scale and be pretty ridiculous overall. I guess maybe that's when you do the golden raspberry, that kind of like upgrades the candy level as well as the amount of candies that you get. But I like that. I like seeing that you get so many candies for catching a legendary Pokemon. We also know that some fully evolved and rare Pokemon do appear in the wild, so that's going to be pretty good for kind of scaling that up. I like this. I like every little thing that we see in Let's Go. Every action you take is rewarded, and that's why I enjoy these games so much. So just some fun stuff overall. Alright, so now let's go watch the a shiny legendary Pokemon. So here's a much better look at what it's like finding a shiny legendary Pokemon in Let's Go. Shiny textures are not displayed during the cinematic, but they appear shiny in both the battle and catching sequence. Now, people are going to have a problem with that, because soft resetting, that's going to be 20 seconds. Oh wait, never mind. This video is dedicated to shiny hunters. If you enable movie skipping, this is how fast each encounter for your hunt will be. There is no soft reset function, so you'll need to return to the home menu, exit the game, and reopen it. That intro bit is also unskippable. So let's see how much time this is. The video is 51 seconds, so the resets are going to take a bit of time, but there's also less of them in general because we don't have like Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon with the tons of different Pokemon and stuff. So you just have to select all that. Oh. They're presented by Game Freak. That's unskippable. Ooh, this takes some time. So they really want you to feel the game every time you open it up to play. That's shiny hunting. Those shiny legendary Pokemon would be valuable if it wasn't for all the crazy amounts of hacking. So yeah, it actually takes 50 seconds for a reset, but shiny charm plus the 1 in 4,000 odds. So you're in the 1300s, 1400s, whatever like the modern odds are for getting a shiny legendary on the soft reset. Still going to be there for quite some time, but things are going to happen. So yeah, actually a little bit right there. And there it says, Moltres' stats rose. So even if you're over-leveled going into Victory Road or going into the power plant or going up against these Pokemon, you're actually going to have to do something kind of like an island trial when you go up against the big Pokemon at the end. The totem Pokemon, it's going to get a stat boost, which makes it harder. So imagine that with Mewtwo. We're going to have a level 70 Pokemon that's also getting all of its stats increased by 1. That's going to be a tough Mewtwo. Even if you have awakened values, it's not going to be a trivial fight, which actually puts more pressure on the 5-minute timer. So that's why I like. So we get to see the actual legendary Pokemon, or we get to see the shiny encounter, which is answering questions. We get to see that this game is difficult, even with some of the new changes or making it look easier and stuff. There's actually a lot of challenge behind it. And also, this is probably affected by that Celadon Seer, so it's going to be really interesting going for competitive legendary Pokemon. They also have guaranteed 3 IVs, so they're going to be pretty strong in the wild as well, I believe. Yeah, going for those competitive legendary Pokemon is going to be wild, because you can set it, and then you can just soft reset, and then you can get a shiny like that, but it's also going to be a bit of a battle. So let's go and see what the Hyper Beam from a Melmetal does to this Moltres. You know, boom! Big hit right there, and one shot because level 100, OP unfairness. But that just goes right into the catching. And we get like a double shiny thing, which I think is pretty cool. So, go on catching the Pokemon, you got it away safely. Oof. Big oof right there. Actually, wait, do we see at the end if Moltres is still there after you run away? No, Moltres flew away. So I think that just kind of shows like the resetting elements that happen in a lot of modern Pokemon games, that if you fail the capture, even if you defeat the Pokemon or if you run away from the Pokemon battle, all you have to do is go through the Elite Four, and then you're going to like be able to reset it. So I think that's going to be how that ends up working out, like we see with a lot of other Pokemon. Also has a shiny Mew following him. A few other things. Ignore those bottom 3 slots. Tried setting Chikorita, Trico, and Rowlet into those slots. Nobody's surprised. It didn't work. I think this already came out from the Datamine when Kurt was first going through. He's like, well, there is information about all the Pokemon. They just don't have any sprites, models, or textures. So trying to, like, you know, inject a 150, or yeah, Pokedex number 152 Chikorita into an egg didn't do anything, but also just shows, looks like weight, height doesn't scale with models. Let's go, purely for record keeping in the Pokedex. 0, 128, 255, all look the same, and yeah, it all looks the same. I thought it'd be pretty cool if like a Pokemon could look fatter or taller, but I guess they didn't go through with that. Yeah, it'd probably also be really weird for like either the really small Pokemon getting smaller or the really big Pokemon getting bigger. Like, it would add some variance, but at the same time, Pokemon are still following you, and that's pretty awesome right there. We can scroll up, and we can also see this madness. Randomizers for Let's Go are going to be very fun. This is the last post I'll be making tonight. Thanks for all the fun, and thanks, Cafotics, for making this possible. Now, the thing is, since we can see Pokemon in the wild, we've already seen a lot of gameplay, like the E3 gameplay, where it's just like, oh, crap, 12 Pokemon just popping up out of nowhere. There's like 5 Caterpie and 2 Weedle, and there's Butterfree. Oh, we also have like a Bulbasaur popping around and stuff. So, and randomizers are going to be very easy to rig. I said this in one of my last videos as well. Like, randomizers are just going to be stupid, because if you see something that looks too good to be true, like a Zapdos and Viridian Force, that's not randomized. That's personally put in there. Also, with only 151 Pokemon, you don't have, like, you have a lot less RNG to getting cool Pokemon. So yeah, there's a Mew flying around. So there goes Mew, and then Gengar, and then Gengar, and then Gengar. So it looks like the Caterpie table was like swapped out with Gengars. And also, if you don't go through the special encounter, the legendary Pokemon doesn't have a battle. It just happens like that. So yeah, just big size Pokemon are gonna be popping up, fully evolved Pokemon, all this. Like that's the actual Pokemon density. So randomizing it causes for some pretty crazy effects, and then just kind of resetting the area and seeing all the new Pokemon just start to pop up as well. Like, this is where we also saw some of the most Pokemon. So those larger, hey, there's Pikachu just chilling there. So yeah, some of the larger ones are just going to get in your way, and that's going to be interesting to see how that happens, but Pokemon popping up all over the place. That's what I love about Pokemon Let's Go with the way the wild encounters are done. I've done videos talking about this. We have hashtag DirtPidgeotto. You know, they just kind of do their own thing. So when we actually get to those moments where there's going to be larger Pokemon in smaller areas and all kinds of like rare Pokemon you're trying to hunt, could lead to some pretty interesting results. But the reason why we're seeing, you know, shiny Pokemon being able to be brought in like this, 999, yeah, where are the items? 999 of all the items. That's because hacking is available, if you couldn't tell from all the information that's getting hacked in the Datamine. Now, this is, man, I was hoping we'd at least last a week of legitimate play, but it doesn't look like we get that even. And then, yeah, new release of Pika Hex will be made available on 11/16/18 Friday with initial support for the new games. So Pika Hex is working, all that hacking stuff is going on, and I think we could also tell that from some of the other information that's been happening. But we got some cool stuff with the Datamine overall, and it's given us information, which is kind of the thing. But that's like, it really bums you out. It's like, well, now this power is being used for evil. But it does look like there's a few other things to check out from Matt. This is interesting because he's actually been playing through the game, so finding like the hands-on stuff. There's only so much you can get from the text and the Datamine and whatnot. So after completing the main story, you're given the option to fly even higher with Charizard, Aerodactyl, and Dragonite. I think we saw that with the Charizard in one of the trailers, which, like, man, that thing has some great height to it. Take extreme heights and fly over Kanto while being able to skip literally everything. Alright, let's see what it's like to skip everything. So using Dragonite as your as the Pokemon default. Wow, you just jump up there, and now who needs surf? Who needs all that? You can just fly over, except the boundaries are still there. But I mean, that, hey, if you want to go for that Articuno, whoa, flying over a gym? What? Okay. I was about to say, if you want to go for the Articuno, hey, there's a Master Trainer down there. If you want to go for the Articuno, you just fly over to Seafoam Islands. GG. Man, Master Trainers are everywhere, which does make a lot of sense. Also, that little part of the route looks kind of cool right there. It's good to see the Raticate. Yeah, just go camp out on top of Professor Oak's house, you know, see if he cares or not. Someone on VP asked if flying high can let you skip portions of the game, dungeons, Mount Moon, Rock Tunnel. Sadly, the boundaries are smaller than you'd hope. So you can fly, like, as long as it's not a boundary, you can fly over it, is what it looks like, which is pretty wild. Another thing I wanted to show is also this. You can use Alolan forms against Master Trainers. I haven't thought about that. And I think I had that thought, but I haven't thought about the implications, you know? I'm like, oh, well, what Alolan forms are going to be better than the regular forms? That way you can get an advantage when going up against Master Trainers. Alolan Ninetales doesn't have an advantage. Alolan Muck probably just does because of the nature of getting stabbed over a non-Alolan Muck or something. But I mean, yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm like, well, there are the same species, and there's a lot of classifications like that. So if it's just checking for the species, you're good to go, which means there's going to be a few extra Master Trainer battles that are going to kind of go that way, and that's kind of it. So yeah, there's just lots going on. Oh yeah, here's a request from Anon, you know, just having Mew follow you around. Get the Pokeball Plus, get a Mew following you. There you go. Look at that. Look at Mew. Mew's pretty cool. Mew just kind of runs around, does his own thing. Mew's listening to the ocean waves. So yeah, very playful, very cool Pokemon. So there we go, guys. Just a little bit extra as we go into the launch of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. That was the Let's Go Spoil stuff, and it just kind of shows, man, these games have some awesome things behind them. So guys, enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.